Good morning, guys, and welcome back to my channel where we're about that Breaking Circles life. It's another Thursday, and this week we're going on to chapter 29 of Genesis and find out what lessons we have to learn. Okay, so it starts because it's a very long chapter. It's actually 35 verses. So let's get right into it. It says, "So Jacob went on his journey and came to the land of the people of the east. And he looked and saw a well in the field, and behold, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks. A large stone was on the well's mouth. Now all the flocks would be gathered there, and they would roll the stone from the well's mouth, water the sheep, and put the stone back in its place on the well's mouth. And Jacob said to them, My brethren, where are you from? And they said, We are from Haran. And then he said to them, Do you know Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. So he said to them, Is he well? And they said, He is well. And look, his daughter Rachel is coming with the sheep. Then he said, Look, it is still high day. It is not time for the cattle to be gathered together. Water the sheep and go and feed them. But they said, We cannot until all the flocks are gathered together, and they have rolled the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep. Now while he was still speaking with them, Rachel came with her father's sheepmen, for she was a shepherdess. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. Then Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's relative, and that he was Rebekah's son. So she ran and told her father. Then it came to pass, when Laban heard the report about Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. So he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, Surely you are my bone and my flesh. And he stayed with him for a month. Then Laban said to Jacob, Because you are my relative, should you therefore serve me nothing? Tell me, what should your wages be? Now Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah's eyes were delicate, but Rachel was beautiful of form and appearance. Now Jacob loved Rachel, so he said, I will serve you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to you, that I should give her to another man. Stay with me. So Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed only a few days to him because of the love he had for her. Then Jacob said to Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in to her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. Now it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to Jacob, and he went in to her. And Laban gave his maid Zilpah to his daughter Leah as a maid. So it came to pass in the morning that, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, What is this you have done to me? Was it not for Rachel that I served you? Why then have you deceived me? And Laban said, it must not be done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give you this one also for the service which you will serve with me still another 7 years. Then Jacob did not so then Jacob did so and fulfilled her week, so he gave him his daughter Rachel as wife also. And Laban gave his maid Bilhah to his daughter Rachel as a maid. Then Jacob also went into Rachel, and he also loved Rachel more than Leah, and he served with Laban still another 7 years. The children of Jacob. When the Lord saw that Leah was unloved, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. Oh my gosh. So Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, The Lord has surely looked on my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. Then she conceived again and bore a son, and said, Because the Lord has heard that I have unloved, he has therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. She conceived again and bore a son and said, "Now this time my husband will become attached to me because I have borne him three sons." Therefore his name was called Levi. And she conceived again and bore a son and said, "Now I will praise the Lord." Therefore she called his name Judah. Then she stopped bearing. Okay, that was Genesis 29. We'll continue next week in chapter 30. Wow, there are lots of there are lots of lessons in this one chapter. Yeah. The first thing we can see is um, I know this is cliche talk, but it has been proven since the beginning of time. People go after what they want, okay? And Jacob, as you can clearly see, he was in love with Rachel and he worked. Even though he was deceived, he still worked for what he wanted. So let's not be fooled. Um, in regards to men, they know what they want and they will work hard to get what they want. Okay, in term and it means rising to standards in this way. I don't mean um, with you with them just getting one thing, which is all what we know. Yeah. So I'm trying to keep it PG-13. Okay. Um. But yeah, first lesson. I'm just going chronologically. First lesson is um, if a man loves you, he will show it. Just like Jacob, just like Jacob here, he will go after what he wants because that's who God made them to be, right? Um, and it's also another lesson that whatever we want in life, we should be willing to work and wait for it. That's just a general lesson. Whatever it is that we want out of life, we ask for it because Jacob did ask for Rachel, right? He was deceived and given Leah, but he asked for it and then he worked for it, right? And then God blessed him eventually, right? Despite the deception. So never give up. Ask for what you want. The Lord says, "Ask and you shall receive." Faith without works is dead. So after you ask, just don't sit there and just think, okay, it's going to happen. You're supposed to work and have faith that God will bring it to pass eventually. And then when He does bring it to pass, you're supposed to work on keeping it and nourishing it, right? So the deception part. Never believe, everything in life has a consequence. And as the secular world would say, karma is yes, I'll not say that word. But everything in life has a consequence. You may be forgiven, but best believe at some point you'll face, maybe not on a more severe level, experience it, but you will experience that you will pay for your sins in some way, right? Because here, yes, Jacob was blessed. Is it Jacob? Sorry. Yeah, Jacob was blessed, and he got the inheritance of Abraham, right? Which the Lord prophesied. So it was supposed to happen that he got the inheritance, but he got it through deception, and God did not approve of that. God does not approve of sin, right? And while He forgave them, consequence of their sin, the fact that he will now experience what it feels to be deceived. I think Jacob could better understand what he did to his brother Esau, right? So so his his own family, Laban, deceived him into giving him the firstborn, and the second one into giving him the firstborn, Leah, when he really desired the secondborn, which was Rachel. Okay, so he worked 7 years for Rachel, but was given Leah, and then he worked 7 more years for Rachel. So he got the love of his life, Rachel. And then the third one is, wow, God God sees each and every one of us in our struggles, and God was still merciful to Leah. You see, he was still merciful to Leah because he knew where Jacob's heart resided. And unfortunately, um, even with this whole barrenness that Rachel had, right? Even when she had her two sons, they were his favorites. So you can just imagine the hurt. I think, I don't know, but honestly, guys, when we see parents behave a certain way or act a certain way, we have to really analyze their past and say what did they go through, why they are acting this way. Because maybe, just maybe, Jacob was still hurt by the fact that Laban did what he did. So imagine when he finally got the heirs that he wanted, the heirs that he wanted, which were Joseph and Benjamin. You can just imagine how much he really cherished them, because maybe in his mind he was thinking God will never give him an heir from um, Rachel, right? And it was Rachel that he loved, and he just was still maybe upset with Laban. So I think maybe that's why he favored Joseph and Benjamin, right? But then it could be shown, it was so obvious because this basically their names said it, as she said in the chapter. These things are generational curses. Imagine he deceived, so he was deceived. And again, he deceived because he was not the favorite, right? And maybe that's why he favored. You see, like when you look at these things, guys, look into your family and realize and understand maybe my mom behaves this way because of this reason. Ask them about their past and try to understand them, because that's what I'm trying to do right now. You know, he deceived his father because his father, Isaac, favored Esau, which was the older one. So maybe, just maybe, that would be the reason why he also favored Joseph and Benjamin, because they were the young ones and they came from the love of his life. So, not that it's correct to do that. Not that it's correct to do that. I do not approve of what Jacob did. But we can see where it's stemming from. And I think if, many times you get to understand where people are coming from and how they view things, then it'll be better for us to break the cycle, to know that, okay, I understand where you're coming from. I understand that this happened to you, and that's why you more than likely treated me this way. But it's going to end with me, and I'm going to make the choice to not carry this into my future, right? Especially to teach my children this. So break the generational trauma, the generational curses, guys. The generational habits that we see is very evident here. Yeah, honestly, self introspection and learning of people's past. That's why I encourage people to open up about their past, because then it gives you some insight into how they view the world. And then, you know, I'd say I think I should become a therapist, but no, I don't think. I think I have some qualities of it, but not all. Because, yeah, if you know me, you understand why I said maybe not, or really maybe not. But, guys, look into your parents, talk to them. I know parents do not like to talk to children, and they do not like to admit things about their past to their children because they feel that it's weakness. But at some point, it took a very long time for my mother to open up to me, right? But if you really listen, even when they spill like one thing, you can grab that one thing and be like, what does that mean? And you talk to them about it, and then it's either they're going to shove you away, but eventually, if you keep bringing it up, like, I'm annoying. My mother will My mother will testify of that, right? I am annoying. But eventually she opened up. And I'm like, but mommy, why would you do that, right? And then um I get a better understanding as to why she did what she did. And then you forgive, you move forward, and then I know how better to treat my children, right? Or to treat people around me in spite of the hurt that I've been facing, right? So those are really the lessons. Go after what you want, ask and you shall receive. Faith without works is dead. Um, Guys, you will face the consequence at some point. God will forgive you. But best believe it's going to be a trial that you can bear. But it's for you to learn and to become a better person. So, yeah. Don't be surprised when your trials are like, it seems like things are going the way that you like how you did it. Or even if it doesn't look that way, maybe you're just facing trial because of that. Also, you have the cases of Job where he didn't do anything and you're still facing trials. So don't think that every trial that you face or God puts you through is because you did something bad. Okay? Just putting that out there. And then three, oh, the other side note is if a man truly loves you, he'll work for you. Okay? And the next one is God will have mercy on you in your valleys, I should say. Just as how he had mercy on Leah, he'll have mercy on you. And break the generational curses. Understand that these things are like centuries, generations old. And if you get to understand the past, you can better prepare for the future. Okay, so those are our lessons from Genesis 29. And I'll see you on Sunday for Sunday Song Spotlight, guys. Bye bye. Have a great day. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's encouragement and I hope you guys are ready for the day ahead. Now do me a favor and press that like button and subscribe button if you are new so that we can get more of this positive Christian content out into the world, okay? And I'll link my daily devotional playlist right here and my Let's Talk playlist if you want to tackle some social issues, okay? So have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.